I'm Sophia A. Jackson, and I'm the editor and founder of Afridiziak Theatre News. And today I have the pleasure of speaking to Jonzi D, who is the artistic director of Breakin Convention. Um, this is the second time we've spoken on YouTube, and first time we spoke was in the middle of the pandemic, and you were doing
Yes,
your
I remember
social distancing.
social distancing. Yes.
Yeah. So thankfully we're not in that situation anymore.
Oh, not in that situation,
No.
and hopefully not for the foreseeable future.
Yes, definitely co-sign that one. So this interview is part of our artistic director series. So the main focus of the questions is about you being an artistic director. Um,
Okay.
and so you founded Breaking Convention in 2004.
2004 was our first breaking convention. And it started with a request from Alistair Spalding when I was touring my show Aeroplane Man
Yeah.
in 2001, I think, at the time. And he asked me, yeah, Jonzi, have you got any more work like this? And I said, yes, but actually there's a lot of different artists doing work like this.
Yeah.
Hip hop as a theatrical vehicle is is just starting to really happen.
Mm,
So I said to him that we should do a festival as opposed to just me doing more work, you know what I mean? Obviously it's a lot more work for me, but for me it's about opening a door and creating a platform for all of
mm.
these hip hop artists that have not been seen as theatrical, you know what I mean? So I wanted to open them doors.
So has it always been at Sadler's Wells then? Because Alistair Spalding is the artistic director of Sadler's Wells. Has it always been there?
It started there, but we've
Mm.
toured to many different venues around the UK. We've done Luxembourg. We've just recently done our second tour of Holland. Our first international date was actually the Harlem Apollo,
Oh,
which
nice.
was, and then we did two more after that as well. So yes, it did start at Sadler's Wells. That's the birthplace, should we say?
And what was that first year like? And did you get the numbers in? What was what did the audience look like as well?
Um, I am so proud to say that we sold out. That was the
Amazing.
main thing. But we had an amazing audience, and the audience was really filled with people that knew the artists. For
Mm,
example, we had the Electric Boogaloos on our first one. We had Tommy the Clown. Um, oh, we had so many amazing acts that year, but loads of UK acts as well.
yeah.
So I think everybody was just really happy to be able to go to a prestigious venue like Sadler's Wells and just have hip hop there. You know what I mean, with graffiti, with open circles, me as the MC. It was
Mm.
amazing. And to be honest with you, I look back on that date and I think if we only did that one, I would have been happy. I would have been proud. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But the fact is, it's a never-ending story breaking convention right now.
And it's always the first bank holiday in May, is that right? Or has it ever been at any other time of the year, apart from during the pandemic when, yeah.
Yeah, that weird one. Yeah, during the pandemic, we did a couple of weird dates. I remember we did one in December.
Yeah.
Because it was like about a week time period where everything was open, and then that closed off real quick. It was a weird time then, man.
Very, very
But
weird time.
but I remember a strong feeling of ain't nothing gonna stop us.
Mm. And what have been your own personal highlights? I mean, 21 years, quite a legacy. So congratulations on that. For you, what have been the personal highlights?
Um, no doubt the very first one.
Yeah.
Well, we had the Electric Boogaloos who have not been there, who hadn't been there for a good 20 years.
Right.
So that was brilliant. Um, Other highlights, just really good reviews. That's always a nice thing.
Yeah.
Um, the first tour, I think, the first national tour was really good. I remember Birmingham Hippodrome, and we absolutely smashed it. The audience was so good. What I would say is that over the years, our audience has definitely changed, and I think traditional Sadler's Wells audience, they buy up their tickets mad quick, and a lot of the hip hop audience and my traditional audience, they're a little bit slow on the uptake. So what's happened now is that a lot of the qualities that we had originally, with a lot more Black people in the building, and just that energy that we bring, you know what I mean? It's still there, but we've got to push it a little bit more.
Yeah, well, that's what
Thankfully, I was going to say we've got a big poster in Brixton, which is really good.
But how do you keep it interesting for 21 years? What do you do? How do you do that?
Well, I think it's less about me. And I think that what we've got is we've got a great structure that hasn't changed in the 21 years.
Right.
We're looking for the best hip hop dance theatre from around the world and around the corner. We always have graffiti, we always have DJs, we always have MCs. So we definitely observe the classic hip hop elements, you know what I mean, to make this show. And I'd say that it's just the artists that are coming through. They're the ones that make it special. And I guess I'm just fortunate enough to know a lot of them. And I always go to a variety of events around the world that are doing
perks of the job.
Yes, exactly. But to be honest with you, I don't travel as much as I used to looking for work. A lot of good work comes to us now. And a lot of people are just like, Jonzi, come check this show out. Please, will you come and see? For example, tomorrow, I'm going to be going to Le Parc de la Villette in Paris to check out some more work from Belgium. So, I'm constantly thinking about the next program.
But how do you actually whittle it down?
That's tricky. That is tricky. Sometimes I don't whittle it down. I just end up saying, okay, we'll save that for the year after. You know what I mean? So what I look at for programming is diversity, is obviously not the group. Big up Ashley Banjo, just want to big man up anyway. But I'm looking for a diverse group of people. I'm looking for countries that I haven't presented work from that country before. That's always exciting. Who is it this year? Ooh, good point. I don't think we did it this year. Damn, let me smack my hand in disappointment. But there's always the French. The French, their approach to art generally, I think, is very, very curious. And I think within hip hop culture, they really push theatrical devices really, really well. And I'm really happy to say that we've got a group called Sons of Wind who will be performing at the weekend. And for me, they're a real shining light in what it means to do hip hop in the theatre, but without compromising on the values of hip hop as well. So I'm very excited about that.
And as an artistic director, can you talk us through what your day looks like? Particularly with 2 weeks to go before you take over Sadler's Wells.
Well, lots of interviews. Doing lots of that. But ultimately, the bulk of the programming is done already. And the program, I've been thinking about since, summer last year, basically. And it kind of like drip feeds. A lot of questions are answered themselves. For example, we do our audition focusing on the UK acts around the end of January.
Right.
So already I've got a great selection to choose from. But good question that you asked about the whittling it down thing, because it's not necessarily always dependent on how good you are,
Ah,
but
okay.
more about what are you bringing to the festival as a,
Yeah.
you know. So that diverse nature, that the different dance styles is very important. We always have um, obviously breaking hip hop dance styles, but we like to look at whacking. Do you know what I mean? Which is a beautiful style that I'm really enjoying. So we're doing that. And I always like to mix it up with a bit of text as well. So
Okay.
we're going to have some elements of that this festival. But yeah, man, I think it's a hard one to say, because even though our structure is pretty much the same, the artists, as I said, are the ones that make it special. You know what I mean? I'm really looking forward to Brooke's new piece. When Time Was New is the name of the company, but Brooke is one of our best poppers over the last 20 years, and he has a company now.
Yeah.
Working with popping, and there's some spoken word in that piece by a guy called TJ. So yeah, that's going to be an exciting piece. I mean, there's loads of exciting pieces. I don't even want to say which is the best, because I think that all of the artists that we present have got something to offer.
And what are the challenges of being an artistic director, though? Because you've talked about bringing diversity in, but as the years go by, what do you find is difficult for you?
Honestly, I don't find this difficult.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
good.
lot to do with the support. Yeah, man, it's a lot to do with the support that I have from my team. If you were to ask them, they'll probably tell you it's difficult when it comes to just
Yeah, you're
basic stuff
sleeping
like people
fine.
turning
They're the
up.
ones having sleepless nights.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Just want to big up Michelle Norton right now on that
Okay.
particular point. But nah, for me, I'll be honest, man, my team is great. The work is fun. I enjoy going out in lots of different work. There's a lot of good work out there, in my opinion. So yeah, man, it's a pleasure. I wouldn't say it's hard at all. I think when I was making my work, as opposed to programming, when I was directing theatre pieces and stuff, that is a selection of problems that I call them problems, and I don't think that's negative, that
Yeah.
we have to solve. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's problem solving exercise, I think, being an artistic director. And I enjoy that part of the work. Do you know what I mean? It's fun. Process for me is brilliant. That's the reason why I really love our professional development projects. Open Art Surgery, Back to the Lab, and we've got a new one coming up. Well, we did it a couple of years ago, called Emerge and See. And when you say it's emergency.
Yeah, yeah.
But these things are very exciting for me personally. You can also check out Open Art Surgery online.
Oh, yeah.
And we've kind of like done how can we explain a reality TV show about the process of Breakin Convention. You can find it online. It's on YouTube.
That's been going for a while, hasn't it?
Yep. Open Art Surgery,
Yeah.
well over 15 years now.
Yeah.
And for me, it's exciting because there's a gap in relation to the training of hip hop dancers and theatre. I was lucky enough to be a hip hop head, but also training at London Contemporary Dance School, which is
Nice.
where I learned a lot of the theatrical choices that we can make, and just doing within a hip hop context as opposed to contemporary dance or neoclassical ballet. So yeah, man, I feel that Open Art Surgery, Back to the Lab, they create that bridge for hip hop art to be able to gain theatrical tools.
And for someone who's not been to Breakin Convention before, what would you say to them?
You fool! How did you not go to Breakin Convention?
Okay.
No, seriously. 21 years, man. I mean, we're 21 years in the game. And yeah, man, you just got to check it out. If you've not been there before, you will not have a theatrical experience like it.
Agreed. Yeah.
The Sadler's Wells, the space, let's be frank, it's usually, quite, hoity-toity and whatnot. But when Breakin Convention happens, we exorcise all of that arrogance and we just do some peace, love, unity, and having fun. You know what I mean?
And
Each one. Sorry, I'm sorry for cutting you, but I was just going to say that
no, it's fine.
We do workshops that weekend.
Yeah.
We have little graph workshops on the top floor for young people. It's education. It's edutainment. Let's call it
Edutainment, yeah. And on the Monday, you've also got an activity, but that's fairly new, isn't it? The is it
Park Jam?
Park Jam, that's it.
The Park Jam, that's been
Yeah.
going since 2010, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. Every single Monday, bank holiday Monday, we go to Sparfields Park, which is like 2 minutes away from Sadler's Wells. And we go to the roots of the culture. In the park, we've got a stage there with different rappers. This year we've got Doc Brown, I'm really happy to say.
Okay.
We've got a space in the basketball courts, which is for dancers, and there's lots of dance freestyle, happy battling. We've got live graffiti being done as well. It's a wonderful day out for all.
It's a nice family day, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Very much so. Very much. Have you been?
I've not been. I've only been to Breakin Convention. I need to take my daughter, though.
Definitely. I think she'll love it.
Yeah, I think so. You have something exciting happening, which is why you're off on your travels, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you mentioned a film before we started the interview. Do you want to talk a bit more about that? It sounds really interesting.
Sure. So we started working on this film in 2015, actually, and the plan was to work with 5 dancers from different places around the world. Korea, South Africa, the Netherlands, Paris, and New York. And each dancer, I asked them the question, how did dance free you? Yeah. And there's a variety of reasons why these particular dancers, why I'm working with these particular dancers.
Yeah.
Antoinette Gomis, from Paris, she grew up basically not knowing how beautiful she was.
Okay.
Being teased for being very dark skinned, and the way in which dance helped her to have a community around her that were not judging her in this way. And it's funny because now she's a model. Do you know what I mean? And she does loads of little gigs and stuff like that. Yeah. But she's an amazing dancer, and I recently toured with her in the Netherlands, but she's part of the film. We've also got Storyboard P from New York, B-Boy Pocket from Korea, Jabulani from the Soweto Skeleton Movers, and all of them have got a specific story to tell. Also B-Boy Redo, who's part of the crew called Ill Abilities, not disabled, ill-abled dancers.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, I ask all of these dancers the question. I'm working closely with Ben Williams, amazing director, who directed from our pieces before. But yeah, it's an exciting project, and we're going out to Paris now to interview Antoinette Gomis and to see a new piece, which I'm excited about.
So what's the end goal for the film? Are you going to premiere it at Breakin Convention maybe, or what will you do?
I don't know the answer to that question, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a feature length.
Oh, nice.
Probably between an hour and an hour and a half, I think.
That sounds nice.
But some of the footage that we've already completed the bit in South Africa,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. Like one of the dancers, while we were there, passed away, and
Oh, I'm
like
so sorry.
who danced with Soweto Skeleton Movers, and
Yeah.
they insisted that we come and film the funeral.
Wow.
And
Okay.
it was absolutely amazing. I mean, these guys, they were inside the grave and they were dancing and
Okay.
celebrating dancer's life. I've never seen anything like it.
No. And
So
is that going to be
yeah,
part of the film?
it definitely is part of the film.
Wow, that's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I look forward to
I
hearing
don't know
more
where.
about it.
Maybe you can help us. Maybe you can help us distribute it.
I
Afridiziak.
I will speak to my best friend who runs Dark Matter, which is a film and book marketing agency, and I think this is something that she would love to be involved in. So, yeah, watch this space.
Thank you.
And finally, thank you. And finally, back to being an artistic director. What tips would you give to someone who wants to embark on that as a career?
I would
What
say,
resilience do you need to last 21 years and more?
well, I think being brave is important, and not second guessing something that's in your heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those two things I'd say, you know. I mean, I second guess all the time. Oh, I'm not sure, is it? But over the years, I've realized that, you know, most of the time there are wins. Sometimes there are losses. For example, at the Olivier Awards a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
I was up for some category in dance. But enough respect to the ballet dancer that won it.
Isabella Catrasi,
Yeah,
yeah.
man, amazing. So,
Yeah.
you know,
There's still time
maybe
for you, though.
Do you reckon? Yeah, I should have
Yeah.
been in a different category.
Oh.
Most dopest hip hop event.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't see Olivier Awards doing that just yet.
They
But you
might
know, give
need
it some.
to add some more categories, maybe.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. And I'll see you not this weekend, following weekend, and I'll come and say hello.
And hopefully, yes, please, particularly at the Park Jam.
Yeah.
Where I'm not that busy, I make a point of just chilling. But obviously for the festival, I'm running around like a blue ass fly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
But definitely, but Monday, please come through. I'd love to meet your daughter as well.
Thank you. All right, take care, and I'll speak to you again soon, hopefully.
No doubt. Take care.
Bye.
See ya.